Abusia coverage in the course. Your chef will see daily update is incredible. Just say the best daily update. The DNA who nam say. Abusia Afenyo Markins then in South police or the South Bonenim. Yes, and in the video no, I am for critical look account. Then who or see or Jimmy Fu because the police try to restrict him to cross a certain boundary. Afenyo on TNC because he claimed he's a minority leader. He's a mighty minority leader. Of late, Afenyo is misbehaving because the police serves with what the law. And it's a sorry, it's a oh baby. Now they have set boundaries. As an example, like barricade. Then that means that is your stopping point. A kufuaro time a DNA to the point that they even spray a yet demonstrated non-harmful demonstrated with pepper spray. Afenyo Markins are both police in just always seeing as we want to do something so that a year the police react now. They had a news to talk saying demonstration police why is a video. I'll comment on message you made. God bless you.
Statement, and they are busy with resources to attack the Chief Justice, sacking senior military officers, youth who have been employed in the public service and in SOEs are being asked to go home. We now have two Ghana. The Ghana for the NDC that is in government, and then a Ghana for others who are seen as enemies. This is not a revolution, it's a democracy. So my respected colleague, I am humbly, on behalf of your fellow citizens, presenting this petition to you for you to deliberate so that you would also be the next to protest and do a sit-down strike because it has because you also have a We are involved. We are involved in our motherland. Yanara assassinating. For your peaceful presence here, but we are very glad with the way things have happened so far. And I want to assure you that this petition will be transmitted to the relevant authorities or audience, and attention will be paid to it. So once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome back in the studio, and of course we'll be going back.
Judicial service staff and the judges of promotion. So you are comfortable, you don't want to speak up. We will speak up for the sake of prosperity. We will speak up for the sake of prosperity. And then again, we have seen a sudden intimidation of judges. So there is fear. Look at this case, for instance. A judge is transferred, and when somebody is on bail, now the Attorney General is able to say that there are some exceptional circumstances that the person must be remanded, and a judge, a high court judge, decides to say, I'm remanding a state intelligence official, somebody who has committed 20 years of his adult life to serve the state as an intelligence officer, is thrown back to on remand, and the judge sat and said he's granting the wishes of the Attorney General. Really?
In the interest of enticing foreign investors to come here, I don't want to be in a country where the judiciary doesn't have the freedom to act on my case in case my business have a challenge. So within the context of what this president wants to do, transformation of Ghana, I think it's important that he takes a second look as to what he wants to do in this process. Yes, the petition was released. It doesn't merit this kind of process that we are going through. We are sending a message to the president that want him to reconsider the decision that he's made to ensure that Ghana will be a stable environment for investors across the world.
We are here not necessarily because of justice. We are not here, forgive my language, because of the woman. We are here to make sure that whether it is NDC or MPP in power, whoever is in power does not control the judiciary. Because when you send me to Jubilee House today, that my case is going to be adjudicated at Jubilee House, I might be scared. If you take me to Parliament, Mama controls Parliament and without respect tells Justice Bagby what to do. If you take me to Parliament, I'll be scared. But the only place that when you take me, I can walk in with confidence, knowing that I'll be judged based on the content of my character.
We have lost an election. The NDC lost election in 2016. What we did is to go into reasonable, sober reflection with the honest intention of correcting our wrongs, because obviously the people who voted are Ghanaians and they judge. We corrected ourselves from where we got it wrong. We right those wrongs, We repackaged our party, rebranded ourselves. We got competent leaders to lead our party, and then we won an election. Now, it is strange that our colleagues haven't been in power for 8 years. The level of mismanagement and destruction, the colossal corruption with which they left this country depressed. After 4 months, you are sitting on TV and telling the same people you punished with an 82-year-old man, impoverished our country, depleted our resources, shared it as though Ghana didn't have owners. With that impunity, you sit on studio and say that you will make Ghana ungovernable. Well, we wish them well. The NDC today...
Mustafa, I don't think he said they will make Ghana ungovernable on this platform. To be fair to him, he said they will picket the Jubilee House. But I don't recall he making a statement that they will make the country ungovernable.
He's been captured to have said they will make Ghana ungovernable if A, B, C, D happens. And I'm telling him that, you see, if you have lost election the way they lost, you don't have to be speaking in that manner, because your mismanagement, your recklessness is a problem of the nation which must be fixed. A government is in place to try and fix that mess. It is not for you to sit on TV without impunity and speak anyhow. Now, let me talk about this demonstration. What is the MPP's...
Well, we seem to be having some connection challenges to Mustafa Bande. Mustafa, if you can...
about that the Chief Justice is no longer an individual.
It's unfortunate. We're having connection issues with Mustafa Bande there. Yeah, Mustafa?
Yes.
Okay, please make a point.
The MPP's demonstration, I can assure you, is nothing but a cover-up of their mess, their inability to organize their own party after a defeat. Their Jubilee House, they also...
You will not stop them? Because we understand the Jubilee House is a security area.
Well, who does that stop anything? Does that mean that because these people are busy going to demonstrate, so therefore Ghana should come to an end? These were the ones who have been in power for 8 years, left this country in a terrible situation, destroyed businesses, stolen money, very corrupt, with impunity and a disgust form of leadership. These same people, they are saying that President Mahama have done what? So,
right. So
what are they preferring? Is the MPP preferring what should have been done that President Mahama didn't follow? Or they are just going to be busy? So I see their whole game plan as a calculated attempt to distract people, to distract the focus that have been on them in the last 2 and 3 months, where Ghanaians get depressed every day, getting to know their scandals upon scandals upon scandals. That is all this is about. But I don't think that they are pursuing anything nationalistic. They are not. So the MPP I know, the MPP of today, is very shameful that the MPP of Sir John, the likes of Jacobi Chebilamte, have been reduced to this comedy of leadership where they don't even know their left from their right. If you don't understand timing, then you will follow what the MPP is doing. Because Ghanaians were very fatigued for 8 years. You destroyed businesses.
Right. Mustafa...
You committed a lot of injustice. And all the NDC have come to do is to right those wrongs and offer consolation and justice to the people of Ghana. And you say what?
I think that, Mustafa, the issues you are raising are not directly related to the demonstration, because the NPP is raising an issue that has to do with the judiciary. And they believe that the suspension of the Chief Justice is what they want to fight. It's wrong in their opinion. So, even though the issues you are raising may stand, but I want us to focus on the concerns they are raising, that there's an interference. There is an interference from the president.
My brother, the MPP doesn't have any concern. They just want to mislead the public and to try and force President Mahama to stand down on what is lawful. But this is not a government or a party you intimidate, particularly when you are wrong. And I'm very sorry because, and excuse me, I had vowed not to talk about this DJ matter. But since
well, Mustafa, if you could unmute so we hear the last statement you made. I think we really can hear you now.
And that the MPP should be careful so that they don't go for demonstration only to come back tomorrow and there are very serious and damning information be put out in the public there that will embarrass them. Because as far as I'm concerned, someone is being suspended for due process to take place. Nobody have judged the Chief Justice. They've just, tomorrow, if the MPP comes and says Mustafa is involved in some crime of a sort, the law requires that I should be investigated. In the course of the investigation, should NDC people go on demonstration to say that Mustafa is innocent when you have not even investigated the person? So the same way, if a judicial process has been activated to allow a process enshrined in our constitution to be tested, what is the MPP running away from? Is the Chief Justice MPP? Is she a politician? Why is it that only MPP people are the ones defending her? What is their interest?
So, Mustafa, you think that this particular demonstration is actually not going to change anything?
Oh, it's an exercise in futility. No reasonable, and I repeat that anyone who understands the exigencies of lawlessness will follow the MPP for what they are doing. These are people who have, they are full. They have taken a lot from the country, and in the last 3 months, they've not been doing anything. So they just want to get busy. I don't think they are doing anything meaningful that will impact on this country. And they cannot deceive. The very Gen Zs they have impoverished, deceived 8 years. He was the National Youth Organizer. He, my brother Mustafa sitting there. Knock up. The people they employed, did they pay them before they left power?
Right.
National Service, did they pay them? They're asking the same youth to go and demonstrate. Afforestation, did they pay them? He, Mustafa, did he ensure that his party that was in government paid national service personnel? The Gen Zs, you deceived. The Gen Zs, you chopped their money. National service was a scandalous institution under your watch as a national youth organizer in government. You're asking the same Gen Zs.
Mustafa, I think we should still speak to the demo, because most of the things you are saying, more or less, is a particular demo by the biggest opposition party in our country.
When you talk to President Mahama's spokesperson, I'm sure that he will give you President Mahama's feeling. But I think that as a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, this is a frivolous exercise. President Mahama, as you know him, is not one who is easily distracted. And I don't think that from where I sit as an executive of the party, there's an ill feeling. The fairness of it is that President Mahama didn't break a law. He just applied the process. And you're asking him not to apply discretion. What should he have done in the case? When we even have precedents to follow. The same procedure was followed under H0̶ matter, where the same law was applied. This same matter is what President Akufo-Addo used against H0̶. And in President Mahama's case, he rather suspended to allow for a committee to look into the matter. What is the MPP's beef?
So is it a tit-for-tat kind of democracy being practiced here?
Look, the NDC, I think that President Mahama is a very serious person as president. He is focused on building a nation. The least I know is for him to get distracted into paying back. If you look at his gestures towards President Akufo-Addo recently, it has shown all of us that really can people extend this level of gestures to one another? So what was the business of the arrogant posturing of the previous government? Such that President Akufo-Addo will not even greet people in public. He command chiefs to get up. That is President Mahama. He is a leader.
All right, Mustafa,
he's a leader who is not vindictive. He's a leader who will not score political points. But if a decision would have to be taken, he will take that decision. The MPP's demonstration cannot stop what is lawful to take place.
Okay, before I come to hold for me. Before I come to Mustafa in studio, Mustafa in studio said that you are preparing the ground for President Mahama to seek a third term.
So
you agree?
So what? So what? When President Akufo-Addo is the weakest candidate they have ever presented for election, for a re-election in the name of a thank you tour, have we commented about it? Even Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia, they believe that he should still contest election. And so what? Granted that is the case, which is not even the case. And so what? Are they the ones to determine who goes to election and who doesn't go to election? What has that got to do with a judicial matter?
All right.
What has that got to do with a suspension of a chief justice? So they are even inconsistent in terms of what their demands are.
Okay, Mustafa.
They don't know what it is about.
The point has been made. Let me come in studio and speak to Salam. Salam, you have a number of reactions to the issues Mustafa Gbande has been raising.
Honestly, I'm very surprised that a Deputy General Secretary would speak in the manner that my brother has spoken. I'm not sure even a Deputy Youth Organizer would speak in this manner. And you can see arrogance of power speaking. And so what?
Arrogance of power.
Yes, already. Is
it too early for them?
It tells you the mindset that these people, were seeking power. Already within 3-4. I'm disappointed in the council.
You are disappointed in the Council of State. Why? Give us a reason. Then you continue.
This is a body that it's supposed to be a thinking cap. Advise the president. When you take the law, we have the spirit and the letter. Things can, you can say that some things are right, but is everything proficient? So you see such a petition, you read through. Even a first-year law student will throw this into the, waste bin. So for a whole Council of State to recommend that the Chief Justice should go on suspension, I'm totally disappointed. It shouldn't have taken place at all in the first place, because this is clearly a cooked up, trumped up petition that seeks to, fall into a certain political thinking. And that is what we are fighting against, that it's not being done in good faith. The whole thing is cooked. And that if we allow it to go on, in the future, the same thing can be done to another person.
Right.
Assuming Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has said in 2018 there about that, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, is giving me problems. So we have 169 members of Parliament. Let's find every means possible to remove Alban Bagbin as
but that's not the scenario you are giving is totally different from what pertains now.
It's not different.
It is not the president that is saying let's get the Chief Justice removed. It is a petition from Ghanaians.
Yes.
And the law allows that.
As for petition, I can sit here and draft a petition in 5 minutes for you. Against everybody.
So what wrong has the president done Your followers are watching. Give us in one sentence, what wrong has the president?
We cannot run to Article 146 and say that the president didn't do any wrong. Look, there's common sense in law. When this thing came to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I'm sure you know, that same, in fact, I think the Shining Star one came to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. After reading through and a little bit of background checks, the president said, no, we cannot admit this. It cannot continue. Simple and short. Because we cannot waste the nation's time following on frivolous petitions. Otherwise, we have opened the floodgates to petitions.
So what is President John Dramani Mahama's wrong?
The president, like I said, if I were him, I would have called the petitioners and given them some heavy head knocks for wasting everybody's time. Yes.
How about the Council of State members? You said you disagree with the decision.
I disagree with the Council of State.
Yeah. So where do you put the blame? Are you putting the blame on the petitioners, the Council of State, or the president?
Look, everybody involved in this thing has been murky. Everyone involved in this thing has been murky. Look, we are talking of an arm of government, not just state institutions, but an arm of government. That I already quoted to you, Article 125, that justice emanates from the people. It is administered by the judiciary. So it is not a body you joke with. Look, Carlos, even in military regimes, the judiciary is not touched. Even military regimes. The parliament is disbanded, media people, media closed down and so on and so forth. There's authoritarian rule, but
the judiciary is protected.
Yes.
You think that's not happening now?
No. There is an attempt to not just lampoon the judiciary, but cocoon it, have absolute control of the judiciary, instill fear in them. Because some people think that they have, power and that they can use it capriciously. That's exactly what is going on.
But I'm at a loss here. You are blaming the petitioners. And
I'm
also,
not blaming the petitioners.
I'm coming.
I'm
you
saying
said all the characters in that have issues.
Are bogus. They are useless petitions.
So why are you now putting it on the head of the president?
Because
he did not initiate the petition.
Yes.